Hey everybody, welcome to Back Talk with JiJi. We are on episode 27. I'm very excited. First of all, I'm excited in general. As you can see, fall is coming, so I'm ready with my hat because I love fall. That's my favorite season. But I'm really excited about this episode because I have two of my favorite industry girlies. Outside of the industry, they have been like just a part of my circle. They've been so supportive of just me as a host. They had me on that panel, and through being on that panel, I was able to make other connections. I was featured on an episode of their podcast, Let's Run It Back. And they have just been overall just so supportive of me in general as I navigate this industry. And I just thought it was important to bring them on because they have an amazing company and brand called GENEUS that is really dedicated to empowering the success and the growth of independent artists. So I'm very excited to have them come on and talk about their company and the brand and everything they have coming up, everything they've done, because they have grown tremendously. Like, my girls be on the red carpet interviewing, and I just love to see it. And again, they have been so supportive of me. I don't see myself in the light that other people do. So it just really warms my heart when people are pouring into me and I'm able to kind of reciprocate that back, because if it wasn't for them, I would not have made some of the connections I've made, especially in New York, with some other girls who have also been poured into me. I think one of the I'm going to say the best, but one of the biggest connections I made with Miss T Talk, and I interviewed her before. And she has a show that just came out. And it's about people talking about their journey of staying sober. So if you guys haven't, make sure you check that out because it's actually really good. And for those who's like thinking about doing the sober route, I think it's a good way to kind of see, because I've usually, when I see people talk about going sober, we just get kind of the I don't want to say the backgrounds of it, but we only get like when they're like 3 months in. But it's a really good way to kind of like see the struggles people have with it. So, but they were responsible for me being able to make that connection. I'm just so excited to have them on tonight. Oh, someone's here. Hey, Brittany. We're going to just wait for them to join on. Yes, Danielle's here. I'm trying to see. I know y'all, and this crazy, they just had an interview, so I was like, maybe I should start a little later. Y'all on. As we wait for Aasha. Why does Instagram take so long?
This came fresh off.
I literally just said that.
Just came fresh off.
The girls is working tonight.
They're working.
Well, at least this one, y'all get to lay back and just answer questions.
Yes.
That's the easy part.
Hello, honey.
Oh, wait, what happened?
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Instagram has my anxiety on 10.
Always.
Okay, so I don't know why this keeps.
Instagram is so shady.
Gosh, what's going on? They always trying to bring the black woman down. Always.
Instagram gave y'all just did an interview. Y'all don't need to be live no more.
Like, do we have a time limit? Like, what's going on?
I remember I was interviewing someone and they cut off, and I had to make a 2-part. So I was like,
Okay. God. Can y'all see what's?
I can see you.
Okay, because my screen is blocked. That is so crazy.
Oh, so you can't see us?
Oh, can you see it?
Lord.
I can't. Hold on. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, what is going on?
Island.
And I'm sure it's so beautiful.
I got on my little fall hat because I'm so excited for fall.
Okay. Am I looking crazy? Because y'all tell me.
No, you look good. You look great.
Because I can't see anything, but okay. We got to do this.
I was just saying that you two are one of my favorite, probably my favorite, like, media girlies outside of media, friends in general. Like, I've made so many great connections just through you guys being on your platform, and you guys pour so much into me and support me, and I genuinely appreciate that so.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
No, we feel the same too.
Girl, I got me a job finally.
Oh,
yes, girl. I was like, yes, set it up, girl. I need it.
Yes.
But like, little nuances like that, like, I really appreciate, because as you know, just, I don't know if it's a New York thing, but just navigating with other media people, it doesn't like this.
Yeah.
It does.
It don't. And it's like it's a rare gem or diamond in the rough kind of aspect
Yes.
to meet. Well, first of all, women that will be willing to just be like, okay, girl, I got you. And when they say I
Yeah.
really got you, they really mean I got
And
you.
it's
They
like
not
a
Like,
genuine
playing.
friendship.
yes,
Yeah.
They
yes.
not playing.
And that's the,
I got you. Then you get there and the girls are trying to play
they
in
be
your
like,
face.
Exactly.
do I
Like,
actually know you?
yeah. Like mean girlish.
Like,
Like, you know,
salad for real. I can't eat. No, stop.
like anytime
Only
like,
because it's fresh. It's fresh.
it's giving like ice spice. But but no, but like anytime we like see each other, it's like you girl, because first of all, we go back to couples in karaoke.
Yeah.
And like that's how far we go back. It's always genuine love. So that's what
Always, always, and I love that. Like I like meeting like-minded people.
yeah. Shout out to couples
Yes.
therapy with Brittany. We coming
I was
back
about to
soon.
say, hey, this is
Girl. The pressure, the pressure. We coming back. We coming back soon.
so joining me. I have Aasha and Danielle, who are the amazing founders of Genius, which is basically their brand that is dedicated to fostering the growth and the success of independent artists because they need it. So my first question is, you describe it as more than a platform, that it's a movement. So I want to talk about like kind of the beginning stages of when you guys decided that this is something that y'all wanted to create. And how did it grow from just an idea to where you guys are today? Because y'all be on the red carpet, y'all really be moving. I'll be like, well, how did it get there?
Well, I'll let Aisha tell it because yeah.
So, well, first off, with Genius, I'm gonna turn this long story very short. So anybody that have known me, and every time that I explain this story, so Genius is actually named after my father, who is Eugene Lewis. My father sung gospel. He did promotion, like originally from upstate Rochester. Well, I'm originally from upstate Rochester, but he's originally from Georgetown, South Carolina. My father loved music. He had a wonderful voice to sing, and I just literally just learned from him and got my passion from him in regards to this when it comes to the music industry. And I just knew growing up, like, I don't want to do anything else but work in the industry, right? Go figure. And I literally got to grad school, and I lost my father while I was in grad school. One of the things that I had to focus on my thesis was like we had to come up with a business. And I was like, what business am I coming up with? And trying to figure that out. And I literally just thought about Genius because I just knew at the time I was working through the labels, doing what I love. And I literally was just like, if I really had to do my own, I really want to come from a perspective of just helping artists.
Mhm.
And because while working at the label, you see, a lot of bull crap, and a lot of people will get sent at that time, people were sending in CDs and, sending in music, and they just have this, and you're talking to people, literally they'll come up to you while you're walking out of the building, hand you their disc and everything, and just be like, oh man, you listen to this? Oh, I'm gonna blow up. Like, and I was like, wait, it's so much more to that. Like, I mean, granted, yes, overnight successes can happen.
Mhm.
Don't take that away from anyone. But it's so much more. Like, do you understand the necessities you need on the back end when you're putting out your creative works? And I was just so passionate about that. I didn't care about the forefront. I didn't care about being none of that. I just wanted to be able to help, and because I saw my father help, and he did that aspect, and it gave him so much joy. I wanted to feel that joy, that same joy. So that's how Genius basically came about.
That is like a Hallmark card. First of all, rewind. I'm gonna be calling you Asha. It's
Hey,
Asia.
Aisha. But a lot of people call me Asha, and also it's just it depends.
You know how many times I've talked to people about you, and I'm like, yes, they, yes, like Asha.
Lord Jesus.
That's why be tuning like, girl, you don't know them girls. That's I do.
But I think
She know us. She know us.
because she hears
It's
it
a
so
real
much, so I
relationship. We
think
got a real relationship.
yeah. But she hears it so much, she just like, it's like, okay.
I do. I
No,
hear everything.
I got it right now. Asia.
Yes.
Okay, I got it right.
Yes.
All right, cool. So how did Danielle come into the fold of this? Like, did you guys already know each other?
So we know each other, yes. So Aisha and my cousin used to like they were friends already prior. So I've known Aisha for years. And this is leading up to the pandemic. Everybody's in the house, been in the house bored. And her and my cousin Brittany, shout out to Brittany, they started doing Music Mondays. It was only one Music Monday, and like how we would do like an entertainment review and just talk about everything that's going on weekly in the news. So it was just like one episode, just going through it, and then I'm like watching it. I'm like, talking about it after with Brittany, and then she was like, "Yeah, I think you should do this." So literally, like that next week, I like came on, and then it's just been like ever since. Cause like I do have like a real passion for music, um, entertainment, and unfortunately, I've never had the privilege to work in the industry. I've always known I wanted to like work in music, but never in the forefront, always in the background. But I just never got there. Like my situation is like unconventional, but I'm here, so yes.
I mean, you ain't missing out as but
Like and then there was like honestly like a lot of things like I do regret with my journey is one, I'm very shy. People may not get that from me at all. Yes, girl, I'm shy. I'm shy. Shy. Like it's bad. But no, it used to be bad, but it's bad. I'm better now. Like I've had missed opportunities just off of the strength of me not being able to network and like speak to people. Um so I always tell people all the time, like just network, stop being shy. Just do it. Just go for it.
I still
But
networking too. I would be in a room of people, and I just don't know how to go up to people anymore. Only because I know I have a strong personality, and I don't want to turn somebody off. Like I have dark humor. I'm just like all over the place, so I'm always scared to go to people first. And I'm just even now I miss out on opportunities. Like I was just at Black Girls of Media. I was there for an hour with y'all.
oh
I,
girl.
I should have stayed and mingled a little longer, but I was just like, I want to go home.
Yeah. I mean, I will say with like that event, and usually I don't talk to people. Like I was sitting there making conversation, making friends. Yeah. Like somebody I had met prior to I went to this like tech event that I met there, and she works in Paramount, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be at Black Rose Media." I was like, "I'm going there too." So we like linked up and stuff like that. So yeah, it's hard because like if I'm by myself, if I'm at an event and like I see other people that like I went up to her and I was like, "Are you here by yourself?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, let's be friends." And we just like started having a conversation from there. So
I love that.
And
yeah.
I'm
How
very
would you
proud. I'm
kind of
proud of.
leverage your backgrounds to just make it successful? Because I consider it a success seeing how you guys grown.
Well, first, I want to before I get into that, I just want to say that I'm very proud of Danielle in regards to her growth. Because the one thing about it is that when she came on, there's a lot of stuff because like we literally, when I say literally, balance each other in a way because I think God knew that I needed her in a
Mm-hmm.
sense, right? So
He knew I needed you, child. He knew. He knew.
because I'm like so nice and so just
I'm nice too.
and no, Danielle's nice. I'm not saying
I,
that she's not.
I
I
get.
think
I think she's saying like, and you could correct me. Like,
Yeah.
you're nice to the fact that she'll like accept anything, and she's nice, but it's kind of like
I
still.
don't
she
play that
makes me
shit.
like
I don't play that
process
shit.
like,
Yeah.
okay, so let's step back, let's process this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
now does this should be like this? Should we be doing this? Should we really be doing that? Because every A, B, C, and D is going on. And then once I step back and kind of look at it, because it's just like, all right, bet. All right, got you. And it helped me along the way because of the fact that even for us, like when I'm listening to artists and things like that, like I said, I've always been a person who just want to help, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dig into that aspect. So when I'm listening, I'm just like, oh yeah, I want to help everybody, right? But I'm realizing as we continue to elevate and we grow, we gotta tighten up. There's certain aspects, things that we have to pay attention
It
to.
has.
Everybody in down from here down the street want to do music and want to release it. So guess what? We want to look at, where's the quality, where's the sound, where you putting in the effort at, so now we gotta kind of hone in on these different things. And Danielle gave me that aspect
Mm-hmm.
in that sense, and it grew me in that portion. But I definitely see her growth over the years is really stepping up, especially when we're getting on carpets and we're talking to artists and things
She
like
know
that,
I
because
don't
she
play.
knows I'm a go-getter. Because as soon as I get in the room, first of all, I'm studying people before I even know. If I know you're going to be in the room before then, I'm already studying, and I have a way to kind of just be able to have that conversation and not to come off like a jerk or anything like that, but
Mhm.
just to try to have it a genuine, I guess, perspective. way to be able to have a conversation with someone, because I know what I want, and I know how I want to do it, and I know how I want to execute it, and I just go for it. That's just what I want, and that is what it is.
And,
Period.
and then a lot of the times, like even Jan, I'm sure like you can like attest to this, like events that you've maybe been to, or even like interviews you've done. Like we'll be on red carpets, and everybody's trying to get an interview, or like different outlets are trying to get that interview or picture or whatever. And sometimes people are trying to block you,
Mm,
Yeah.
or they're like, people are very aggressive. So it's like I'm nice, but I'm not playing that. That you're not gonna play me. Like I'm
ex-
gonna, be aggressive.
exactly.
So
Right.
Exactly.
yeah.
And I feel like with Black women, it's I don't want to say it's hard for us to be aggressive, but in this light, we have to. I hate that fact that we have to play that game. Like we have
Yeah.
to be aggressive. Where men are commended for being a go getter. As
Yes.
Black women, it's like, oh, you doing too much, you, and it's like, no, I know what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I also have not had the privilege of being on a red carpet doing interviews. I work the red carpet. I haven't been, so I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know how I would handle it either because I'm such a I'm aggressive, but I think in this stage in my life, what I'm noticing, and that's only because I've dealt with a lot of like anxiety and depression. If
Mm-hmm.
I deal with that type of thing in the moment, it's gonna turn me off from everything completely. Where it's
Yeah.
gonna be like, I don't want to
Yeah.
carpet again. I'm not gonna be like, oh, bet, let me turn up. All right, y'all want to do this?
Yeah.
I know
Right.
it's gonna make me now if I get invited again. It's like, I gotta compete with people to speak with people. Like,
Yeah.
can y'all just come over?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
realizing that's keeping me from opportunities. Like I have to like, but seeing y'all really tells me like, no, girl, get in your
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. No,
'cause
you can do it.
we spoke about it once, like how we've noticed people doing interviews on the red carpet. That's not. I would say probably influencers. They're people who have not like us hustled, who have not the
Mm-hmm.
experience of interviewing, who have not studied the craft, and they get the opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I have to you have to put yourself in that light because you're seeing people basically take your job and they not even asking the right questions.
Right.
I'm
And you
sorry,
know
like
what?
I'm not
And I
sure. Like,
know, and here's the thing about that, right? Right. Here comes nice Aisha. So the thing about that is like, we're able to share this space, right? To be able to, okay, you have your style, I got my style, right? And then now the aspect of the part of what we learned and what's respectful and what, really doing your research, right? That's what they considered the old journalism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in that aspect, in regards to like influencers and things like that, it's all right, we can have that space, but are you utilizing that space to say, you know what, am I paying attention to how this person is really going in on this question, how they
mm-hmm.
transitioned, how they took their tone from soft to, a little higher. Like I pay attention to those aspects. And I think that's the one thing about being in journalism is that, you kind of, you just learn and you
Mm-hmm.
just grow in
Yeah.
that, in how to be able to pay attention to that. Cause there's a lot of journalists that I look at, and it's just like, at the end of the day, I'm really hoping that when these influencers are coming in, and we see some that just be asking some reckless stuff.
Oh my,
we
wait, for example, sorry to interrupt you.
we see it.
There was a video I saw of somebody asking JT. I don't know if y'all see it. He was like, "Oh, um, what was it? When the
When
last time
last
you got
time she had
tested?
sex? No, I think it was when she last time
Tested."
had sex or something.
No, no, no. It was when was the last time
Oh,
she got tested or something like I think that's what it was. And she was just like, "What? Like, first of all, you don't act like you. I mean, I get it. You want to ask certain questions, but you
You gotta
don't
take
ask
a
those.
moment.
Like, that's not professional. Like, come on. Like, and this is why Beyonce don't do interviews now.
And I hate seeing questions like that when
yeah,
you know it's an artist that has like something going
right.
on. Like they
Yeah,
just don't
like she just
lie.
released an album, doing a tour. Like, you could have asked anything about that, but you asking her what was the last time she got tested. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's why we have those hopes, and like I said, that's why that's the good side of Asia is like you have those hopes and you take doors of opportunity, because obviously they were blessed to be able to get on those carpets, right? That door opened for them,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the fact that whether if they know somebody or not, that door was open, right? Now, what are you going to do when that door is
Mm-hmm.
open? What is the opportunities from this? What are you going to take from
Mm-hmm.
this? What is the earning aspect? Because if I'm new and I'm just like over here and I'm just asking, randomly and I'm having in la la land, you know, am I going to utilize that time to really hear someone and really learn from them who's my partner who's standing next to me, right?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because Danielle has witnessed, you know, when we go on other carpets or we doing whatever, like I'm introducing hey, how you doing? Listen,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm checking out your style and everything like that. Right? It's not to go against you. It's not to be competition. It's like, yo, she really got something, you know, we can take and learn from. And I'm just really hoping those influencers really take from that. And that would
Yeah.
be my only piece I say about when it comes to influencers.
I love that you said that about just going up to people and speaking to them and just kind of learning. I feel like some people think when you get to a certain stage, you don't have to learn anymore. And
Always. You
speaking
have to
of
learn
that,
every day.
as you guys have been growing your platform and your business, what are some challenges that you've had that you kind of wish you knew in the beginning going in? Not the laugh.
Mm.
um,
I would say taking people with a grain of salt.
that.
Because
Yeah.
you know sometimes you'll make the connections and they're like, okay, yeah, let's connect, let's do this, let's do and then you actually reach out to them, and then it's just like crickets. Then it's like, okay, you do a follow up, then it's like crickets, and it's like, okay, what just happened to all the energy we were just talking about, you know?
Mm,
So it's like if like we're networking to network, obviously, but it's just
right.
like, you know, don't just
That Hollywood talk,
Right.
like when you in town, we should be
Like,
there.
oh, have your people hit my people. We good.
yes.
Um, I'm definitely gonna say I definitely piggyback on what Danielle said, and I'm also gonna say in the sense of it is sometimes I think when as creatives and as entrepreneurs we feel like this has to be so perfect, right? Before I move on
Mhm.
this. And I think that sometimes like I scared myself in the fact of like, no, this got to be right. This got to be this. I have this vision. I see it until I really got to the point where it's just like somebody had a conversation with me. It was like, yo, just do it. What are you doing?
Mhm.
And I think that was like the challenge, the most challenging part. Because once I got over the hump of to the point to just do it, I was just like, you know what, forget it. Whatever mistake I made, whatever um hurdle I come across, I'm gonna learn from it and make sure we don't go through it. I've also been in organizations where I see people basically f up and do some crazy stuff, and I learn from that. And Danielle and I have been through that, and we've seen people do some stuff, and I was like, damn, I don't want to do that. We can do this, but I can't do
Do
that.
that. No.
So and to also to add to that, it's just like whenever you're in a business, you're always going to have challenges, right? I think it's just how you approach those challenges. In a sense, you know, sometimes we have gotten told we got amazing content. We don't have the numbers. I have been told that from stations that who wants to pick us up and be like, oh, you know what? Get the numbers up, you're gonna, and we constantly face that. But at the end of the day, like I tell Danielle, I said, you know what, if one person like it, another person is gonna enjoy it,
Mhm.
another person is gonna see us, somebody's gonna see it, because we get people all the time that tells us like, you know, we love the questions, we love the chemistry, we love, you know, just you guys really doing your research and really, you know, coming together and being professional. And that still exists. Being
Yes.
professional. um so I think that when we think of challenges, you know, those early challenges, I think just for me, it's just like I said, just getting over the humps. And we're gonna get hit with no's, we're gonna get hit with the Hollywood talk and everything. I think
Mhm.
now I know how to redirect that, because I tell Danielle, like, we have that little talk before we get. I'm like, you know what, we going this is what it is. This is what if it ain't is, you know what? Listen, let's not waste our time. We know when to exit out, and
Mhm.
that's just what it is. And we're at that point now where it's just like, and even sometimes when I tell Danielle, even for events, and I'm over here sometimes and Danielle's over here, and I'm like, if you're not feeling it, just go. Don't waste your time, you know, don't even put the energy into certain things. So I think with these challenges we just learned how to maneuver, because
Yeah.
we're gonna still get them, you know. So
I ain't gonna lie. I'm jealous that y'all have like a two-part team. And I've told y'all that this because as me doing it by myself, I have to have these conversations with myself in the mirror. Like I have people who I can probably talk to about it, but they
yeah.
just don't get it because they're not actively doing it. And I'm able to kind of I text you all the time, girl, like, all right, this is what I'm going through, X, Y, and Z. But it's like the fact that y'all have each other to go through this. I just think that's a beautiful sisterhood because it's not just I'm doing my own thing, you're doing your own thing. We're doing it
Mhm.
together. Like we're building
Mhm.
it together. And I don't think people really understand the beauty in that.
Yeah.
That
Right.
you can have two black women can come together to create something. It does not have
Right.
to we're doing our own thing. Like that's what I
Right.
really admire about you guys, like so much.
Right.
And that
Yeah.
y'all together so beautifully with it. It's never a conflict. It's never like I'm pretty sure it's conflict, but it's not like
No, no,
what
not no,
community
no beefing or nothing.
Oh
No,
yeah, we
no.
don't.
right. It
Yeah,
doesn't
No.
get that.
and
We
we
all
talk to each
together.
other.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Like, I'm not really feeling this. Yeah.
yeah, like if I'm not feeling something, or like I said, if I see one a point away and Danielle sees another way, then we'll be like, all right, and that we kind of just talk about it. But to piggyback what you're saying, Gigi, is that community is important because, mind you, before Danielle came in the picture, it was me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to be my own hype man. I had to be my own person, right?
That
Until
shit
I
hard.
really got to the point, and it is, and I'm not gonna lie, it's hard because prior to me doing what I was doing or starting this, I got married young, was in a relationship where that person was not supporting me. So I really wasn't. So you're going through that and then you don't have that. When I
Mm-hmm.
tell you it takes a lot and it takes a village and it takes a community,
Mm-hmm.
because that's why it's so important to me the way that I am when I'm talking to you or I'm talking to other media girls or anything like that, because I know that feeling.
Exactly.
And that's why it's quick to tell people, like, here, take my number, text me, call me. Look, you need prayer, you need
Yeah,
something, you need encouragement, you need this. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
got you. Just tell me, And I think that sometimes, to be honest, I overstretch myself too, because I want to be that person like you, because I know that feeling when you're trying to do it by yourself when you're starting off. And that's why I said in the beginning, God knew I needed Danielle, right?
mm-hmm.
God knew I needed the circle that I do have. It's small and I love it. That's fine,
Exactly.
right? And that's why I'm very thankful for that, because and then as we continue to elevate and as we continue to grow, I pray God gives me discernment, continually to give me discernment, to make sure that we're inviting the right people and the right synergy in our space, so that we can be able to do that. And the same thing, I give you that encouragement
Mm-hmm.
all the time. Just girl, you got this. You might not have a dual team, but you got a community that you can reach out to, who can prep you, amp you. We're
Oh,
gonna
we
be
try.
your hype man. And that's what it is, and that's what I want to be able to get to. I don't believe in us trying to continue to be mean girls and all that stuff. Like, okay, that's old. Like,
It's corny.
Yeah, no, it
we
is.
put more energy into being mean girlish and frowning up, and keep holding the information instead of just like, here, girl, just take it. We good.
I
Just
feel like you get so much more opportunities just extending yourself and just helping out. Like I know when I first started out, it was hard, and it was because I was encountering mean girls, or like you was talking about like the numbers, like your Instagram don't have nothing, or you're not doing much, and it's like I'm not, but I'm talented. I have the skill set. I just need someone to like crack the door
Yeah,
open. Let me just put
yeah,
at
yeah.
me.
right,
I'm not asking you to give me no money. So that's why I really appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to come on your platform and just kind of talk my shit and just
yep,
kind of, and that would open other doors for me. It is like
Yeah.
a testament to like, you don't have to come in this industry being competitive. You don't have to come into this just being a gatekeeper thinking that, oh, I have to dim someone else's light because I need all of this right now.
right.
It's like contrary to relief, there is a lot of opportunities for all of us to get what we
Oh
No,
need.
it
yeah.
is. It really
They
is.
Right. And when
make
you
it
think about the concept, like when they talk about when you walk in the grocery store and the bread out, right? You see a whole lane of bread,
But
different
it's so many
brands,
different brands.
but it's
Yeah.
bread, all
But it's
bread,
like different types of bread. So it's
different
just
types
like,
of bread. All so
yeah,
you had that aspect always stuck with me, because it's like, yeah, a lot of people say, oh, the industry is saturated because everybody's trying to do media, we're trying to talk about music. Or okay, but what makes you unique? What makes you
right.
different?
hmm
Because what sets us apart is, like we said, it's just like how my slogan is, real music, real style, and real people. We're bringing you just the honest truth about it. Like, we're bringing you people who have experienced it. We're bringing you artists and media personalities like yourself, who are saying, listen, I'm not ashamed to say I have anxiety, and to be able to do this, but yet you're in media. You know what I'm saying? There's people that's living with these these things and these perspective and these feelings, and they're not sharing them. So
Mm-hmm.
we want to be able to provide that platform and that aspect to be able to share these things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what it is.
And nobody like accelerates being a mean person
Mm-hmm.
or being a mean girl. Like you don't like,
Mm.
and there's been situations like we've been in where, getting taken advantage of. Aisha, I ain't gonna say, but you know what I'm
we
talking
not
about.
we
And
not
there's been times I told you we not doing this. We know. But it's just like, you just gotta, like she said, have discernment
Yeah,
and
and lesson learned and keep it moving.
yes, yes, yeah.
I think we're lucky because we're in New York and we're like in the middle of everything being,
Mm-hmm.
there are disadvantages of it, but I feel like there's a
Right.
lot of advantages we're going to talk about. What has being in New York really brought to your brand that has allowed it to thrive?
I think
Oh man.
like the events, like different events and having like different opportunities to go to. Like we were just at the Rise Up concert in Queens. So yeah, like Sean Paul,
I'll be honest.
Lloyd, Carl Thomas,
Lloyd.
no, not Lloyd.
Oh. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
MC Light, and I
MC
know
Light,
they have a variety of different shows and things like
Mr.
that.
Cheeks. I couldn't
Yeah.
sorry. But yeah, so we had the opportunity to like be media in there, and I honestly I was like I network with a lot of different people, even like other people in media right up front, and I even was kikiing with the mayor's advisor, like got her contact information. So it's just like being in New York, it helps, like going to like different events and being able to like connect with so many different types of people.
The
Right.
I think people sleep on the access of New York. I have like my friend Stina, who was y'all interviewed Stina. Shout out to Stina.
Yes.
When
Yes.
she came up here, I was really excited because I know who she's in Atlanta, and I'm like, girl, no shade. If you move to New York, you can really
Hmm.
like. You already did the work in Atlanta, but I'm just like thinking about that hustle and you in New York,
Hmm.
and you don't have to drive a car, girl. Get on the train,
Right.
like Uber it. Like she really can make something of that and be able to bridge that connection when she came on y'all show. It's like this is literally how like be able to show that example that no, outside of that, this is really how the community operates in New York.
Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hey y'all, I got this amazing girl. She's really good. And of course, discernment with that. I'm not gonna bring y'all everybody because I know a lot of people, but I'm like, I know she's gonna do good on this platform. And then I know she has the numbers. So it's like she's gonna be able to get a real professional interview, but then she also has the numbers that can bring more people to y'all.
People, yeah,
So
yeah,
bridge that
yeah.
gap. And I hate that numbers thing. I
Me
really hate
too.
it.
I
I
think a
hate
lot of
it.
people hate it. But and then I think like it's a lot of missed opportunity of actually seeing real talent in an aspect, because it's just like you're missing like the quality of people because you want someone to just be able who has a viral moment.
Yeah.
And I've even heard you talk about it, Gigi, about viral moments and things like that, because I think you kind of geared away from certain things because it was just like that's not what I'm focused on. I'm really saying something over here, but you're trying to capture this over here, which is
I'm not
we
trying to be on TikTok
Oh
dancing.
my
Like stop asking.
gosh. I can't, I don't have the,
I'll
with
do
right.
it.
I
I'm like
can't.
tipsy one night, and I really wanna. But it's like that's not why I
Yeah.
want to get numbers. Like if I hate the fact that if I post like a selfie, I'll get the most views, the most comments, the most likes. But let me post, hey, I'm hosting this event, and
Yeah.
it's like
And even like some, if you got like a little
Crickets.
cleavage showing, oh my gosh, the numbers will be, if you in a bathing suit, skyrocket. But let me
Yep.
post this, like you said, the event.
Yep.
It's like who
Crickets.
is like crickets. And we were just talking about this with the young lady we just interviewed, Sophia Galate, about like the industry just being so like numbers focused, and it's like you're missing like the true talent. Like back in the day, like granted, like maybe radio spins and stuff like that, but majority of artists were true talent.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
like now it's just like, okay, what's like you're basically going off of like being able to go viral. That's Is that really talent? I mean,
It's
so for some people it does work, it does help, but then it's like I don't want to name names, but you know,
I was about to say a name, but
Like it's
I think I already said their name in the other interview because I'm over them. But a company I was interviewing for a music company, I was talking to someone who works in A&R, and I was telling her that that was a path I wanted to take. And
Mm-hmm.
he said verbatim, well, A&R is not what it used to be, where you kind of go to showcase in the clubs and pick.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
so these people are not even going to see how people perform. They're just looking at numbers, and
Mm-hmm.
you know
Yep.
all the
We just literally,
I was just
literally,
saying.
literally
they're
just
not
said
even
that.
going to see. Let me see if the person has star power. They're
Yeah.
Yep.
got this. This is the numbers they're doing, and it's like you don't even care that their music is actually trash,
And there's
and
a
they
lot
only
of people who are industry
Yep.
plants too. Like,
So
that's
before we get into the industry plants, right? So to back what you're saying, because literally just on our when we wrapped up our interview, I literally made that comment. From working in the industry for over these years, A&R is not the same as how it was the 80s, the 90s, when we can just really had to go and find these hole in the wall places to really
mm-hmm.
hear talent,
Yeah, yeah.
or or you hear somebody at a contest and singing things like that, and you're hearing artists, right? And taking the money to understand, because I think at that time with A&R they looked at the longevity.
mm-hmm,
The difference with A&R now is they're looking at what's in front of them, the presently, and what it can get them for the right now type of dollar, right? And what we need to kind of gear back to is the fact of, can we really position this artist in a place where they can be a Mariah Carey, they can be a Jasmine Sullivan, they can be a Mary J. Blige, like to have that long lasting legacy of music. Can they step up, and can they really put into a body of work, like how Beyonce talk about and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's missed. And going back to the reason why I started this and wanted to support independent artists is because you've seen what the trajectory was changing into when it came to the digital side of social media, right?
mm-hmm.
We saw how Soldier Boy, came through and blew it up through YouTube and all that stuff, and Justin Bieber and everybody that came along, right? So if you imagine, right, they're in as time go on, and now we see, the Ice Spices, and we see I mean, who else can we, and even so, right.
They always on catch strays for me. I don't care.
Oh my gosh.
And even so, it's so crazy because even right now, like, Lola Brooke talk about how it's a hard of a time for her
Yeah.
because that song, which some people feel is so new to them, has been done years and years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
right?
And it's crazy to me because she can really rap.
Really rap,
Like,
really rap, has amazing talent,
where's
amazing
the
talent.
money going?
So, and I think that that's the number one thing, and I think that's why I want to have this platform for us to be able to really, because every artist music we get, we listen to. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not just like, oh yeah, sure, we'll go ahead, we'll pick you up or interview. No, I'm literally listening to it, and I have to email people when people send out. I'll be like, oh no, send us your links, we'll listen to it, we'll let you know if you're a fit, because I need you to understand that as you're pursuing this and you're getting into it or whatever, it's just not just because you're making music and you just think like, because I think that's what some people think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wake up this morning, I'm just gonna jump in the booth because I thought about, oh, art music is just gonna be my direction. Okay, what's the quality? What's the talent? What you really do? What you
Mm-hmm.
got?
Or even sometimes, like, we'll get submissions and there's like only one song, and it's just like, you want us to interview you based off of one song, a song that's not even that good. No shade, but it's like,
But you gotta keep it a buck with them because clearly the people around them aren't.
Right. And I think that, and that's another thing too, because Danielle and I had, like I said, that's why we had to get tight, because we had interviews where artists, like, they couldn't even sit down and answer certain questions in
Mhm.
particular. And they'll be like, right on camera, they're like, oh, these some hard questions. Well, first off, you got the questions before you came on the camera. Secondly, you should already know, like, if you're in the direction in which you want to go and things of that nature. And then, because this is your sound. You got to
Mhm.
be delusional about yourself, right? And what you want to
Mhm.
do. So when it's hard for you to answer these particular questions, and this is why we do that, because and we guide them in the sense of, okay, we want to be able to give you a platform, we want to be able to put you in a spotlight, because I get it, because as indie artists, it is hard to get certain platforms attentions, or certain be in certain rooms or attention. So
Mm-hmm.
it gives us the opportunity to sit and really listen and indulge into your sound, your style, to see your consistency, and to be able to say, you know what, let's do it. Let's do a blog write up, let's do, the music review, let's do, the interview, let's do the feature. You good, because you need that hand up.
Because you guys provide these, basically you provide these tools to artists, can you just talk about what those steps look like in practice, and to make sure that you're being impactful? You talked about a little bit, but just go into the step by step on how artists should be. First of all, what artists should already have before they decide to reach out to you, what you guys are providing for them, and what the end goal is supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, first off, when you're reaching out to someone, and whether, now I'm not gonna say I'm picky about, whether if it's DM versus my email. I think it's how you approach it, right? Because first impressions are everything, right? So, we had some DMs where they be like, "Yo, mom, like, this is a cool platform," and I just be
A
like,
new
"Ooh,
song, listen. Good
Nah.
morning, what's your
like,
name?
I got a song. Can you review it?" Like, no, that's not how we go. How about you introduce
Hi,
yourself?
my name is.
I'm
Hello,
this
how's your
art. I'm,
day?
even if it's, I'm, Southside Chicago artist, or, I'm really trying to build, ABCD. I think it's really all about the approach, whether if it's a DM. Like I said, I'm not picky about whether if it's a DM or an email, but at least the approach have to be there, right?
Yeah.
Secondly, once that, so normally I would say always send your everything, be prepared. Whether if you feel you're overly prepared, send your links, send your, your social media platforms, whatever.
Mhm.
Even if you might not have a whole bio or a whole website or something, make sure you have your music, because the whole purpose of you reaching out to us is the fact that you want us to listen to you,
Yeah, and also
right?
hear your like develop questions to hear your story and let the audience hear your story too.
So we want you just to be able to send us that, and then our response is like, "Hey, thank you so much for inquiring," and we'll go from we're going to review everything. And for me, I go into a deep dive where it's like, okay, I'm listening to the music, and usually if it's really good to me, I'm doing like 3 and 4 sessions of a listening. Now I'm breaking it down in levels, and then I kind of reach back on, like, all right, now I look at where they're at, far as like if they have a website, or if they have, how they doing on social media and things of that nature. Are they doing something consistently, just regardless, kind of hustling themselves, right?
Mhm.
Because that's what you're doing, right? You hustling for you. And then I kind of see where they're at in the terms of, okay, well, what type of promotion, what can we give them to help them? Is that an artist feature? Is that a write-up? Is this just a music review? And I break that aspect down, and then once I kind of get a clear understanding for myself, then I'll reach back out to them and say, hey, listen, I took the time, we took the opportunity to look over everything. This is where we see where we can help you at. Now, what if they take hold of that, or take here and come back? Cool. But a lot of times we do get a lot of artists that just literally just constantly that comes back and say, hey, I love how you did this. I loved how the approach was, and we just want to be able to do it again.
Have there been success stories of, like, say someone came to you guys and they like was all over the place, and then you gave them you gave them the advice that you needed to, and they came back and now they have like the full package, and then they probably moved on to do something even bigger?
Oh, yeah. We have worked, oh my goodness. Fiki is an artist who amazing, and she has rebranded herself, she's putting herself back out there, music, video, everything. um and it started because I literally, when my husband and I used to live in Westbury, I started going to like these my son's like school board meetings and stuff like that, and I met this other lady, and I kind of was explaining to her like, oh, what I do, and what I'm looking to do, and she's like, oh my god, I have a friend whose daughter is this, and it just, we connected from there. And literally she called and she was just like, well, I have questions. And literally I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just really, really set out the time so I can really just kind of pour into her. And I was pouring into her and just like, hey, she was like, I've been into some bad deals. I did this and this. And I kind of just was like literally talking to her, and she was like, you don't understand, like, you having these conversations with me. She's like, People are trying to get me to pay 500 here, do
Mm-mm.
1,000 here, this and that. And I was just like, but I was like, I can see your hunger. I can see that this is something you really want to do. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you, you got to charge me, per letter of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just like, if this is what you want to do, here's the strategy, and then find people, because she thought she had to pay for a huge videographer or a manager and all this stuff. I'm like, girl, start small.
Mm-hmm.
Use your phone, the power of your phone with
Mm-hmm.
videos. You got to use a little CapCut or Canva or anything like that
Change the
to help
quality
you.
of how you
Like,
record.
I'm like, y'all keep thinking y'all gotta go out here and get you a $1,500 videographer and a photographer. Now, yes, do you want to do a couple photos or something like that or whatever? Now, if you got some friends that got, utilize your community. I always taught,
Mm-hmm.
and I now to see her, like, she's rebranding. She's working with some major artists, and then of course Danielle and I, we had our indie award show where we brought together her and other artists and things like that, like to really see and hear people that really still connect and still talk to each other and still like, okay, songwriters, producers, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Like it's like really like a community.
I love that. What on in a perfect world, what is genius without the hustle, without everything? If you was able to just kind of have your company and just focus on what you're supposed to focus on, what is the overall legacy that is supposed to be in a perfect world? If you didn't have to work your 9 to 5s
Oh.
and y'all can just solely do this, what exactly is the platform supposed to be doing without all the hustle and
I
bustle?
Mm,
think
Because when you're hustling, you have to pick and choose what's important right now.
yeah.
You have an end
Yes.
goal. What is that supposed to look like without all of
I
that?
think for me, I think it's one, giving people knowledge, education, networking, making it a community of being able to bring different creatives together to network and, you know, finding anybody like, okay, this person knows somebody who's a photographer. Okay, but this photographer needs a model. Okay, I can utilize them so I can maybe get my photo shoots or, whatever I need. um Also just even like elevating artists just as a whole for me. And I know
Mhm.
Aisha, she like feels the same way, but go ahead, girl.
Yeah. So the overall, as far as when I think about legacy and in regards to when it comes to genius, I eventually want to be a all woman built indie label that support artists. We're able to give them in-house what they need, whether if it's going to be a label to a distribution. I want that to be able to teach them and to be able to for them to understand prior to them coming in, like, this is what's going on. You're going to learn now
Mm-hmm.
when you do this, right? And I get a lot of people don't want to invest that time, right? But also we're not looking to have a 30 or 50 person roster either, right? Because I think people just bring it in, and when we think about major labels, we think about them just kind of bringing in people, investing the money, thinking they're going to get the return, and we get the return, and then obviously you got to shelve them and put them to the back burner, unless somebody pops, right? I don't want that aspect. And I want to be able to do that where we be a female rand label, right? We want to build together award shows. Now, from what Danielle was talking about from the education standpoint, because I do want to create my nonprofit foundation that is going to support individuals who want to be able to work in these creative spaces. So whether we're putting together songwriting workshops, whether we're putting together a conference for you to be able to learn, and I'm not talking about, the watered down conferences where it's just like, oh, you can do it, believe in yourself. I'm talking about
Yo, my
conferences
gosh.
Hey,
Don't get me
where
started on
it's
those,
we're
please.
really giving you a hands-on experience where you can come through and you're learning from
Yeah.
experts. Like, you're literally, like, if you want to do songwriting, okay, here's a
Someone
songwriting
writing
workshop.
workshop. Yes.
Here's a Grammy, 3-time Grammy or whatever, 4-time Grammy, that artist, that songwriter that's here to teach you some techniques of
Mm-hmm.
what you need to build, and be able to create. I just want to be a platform and a space for artists to come to be able to promote their work. So, we're writing, we're featuring, we're searching, and we're digging, and we're looking for the next, this amazing talent And so that's where I see that, and that's what I want to do. And I want to be able to build that, and that it can be flexible enough to be from an aspect. Because, like I said, we got the label, we got a nonprofit, we got a foundation. I want to create a scholarship in my father's name, that we're those students who wants to work in media or who wants to go in entertainment music business, if they can't go to college, then we can fund a certificate program or something, or maybe develop our own certificate program. These are the things that are things what I envision where I would love for it to go. So,
You know what I see though?
mm-hmm.
What you see, girl? What you
After
see?
hearing both of y'all, what literally is corny to me, I can see labels outsourcing y'all as consulting, because what you know what
Mm.
I don't know if y'all could agree or disagree. What I think is missing is artist development, and I
Yeah.
think they pay y'all, contract your company to for artist development. Hey, we have an artist, but they're not ready for the mainstream. Can you help them? And then once they sign up for your company, and the labels are paying y'all, not the artists. The labels
Mm.
will literally develop
JiJi, you
your
on to
artist
something,
for them.
girl?
No, you're
You
so
on
funny.
to
You're
something?
doing media prep for them, how y'all should be answering interviews where they're learning.
Right.
And then even doing backgrounds, like, okay, someone brings up the fact you got arrested. This is how you should handle it. You're
Mm.
doing media.
Right.
You're giving them legal and all that business acumen of how they should be
Right.
reading contracts for themselves. Yes, you're going to have a team, but these are the essentials that you guys should know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what else? Hooking up with fashion designers or brands, people who does brand, because also the connection aspect, you have connections. So y'all can hook them up with someone who can help them create a look for them that's unique for them.
Oh,
Up with who else? It's so much possible. Marketing, someone for
right.
marketing, how you, so that they can advocate for themselves. So when they go back to the label, the only thing I need the label to do is invest and give me the money, so I'm not spending my own money. But I can literally see labels outsourcing you guys for
Yeah.
that and paying y'all for that.
Oh,
And
And
it's
then
so
I use
funny
the money
that
to
you
you on
said
pay
to
that.
something,
with.
girl?
Y'all using the money to pay y'all with
Mm-hmm.
to do the nonprofit,
Yeah.
to do all these
Right.
things. But because
Yeah.
of connections with the labels, because
Yeah.
they're paying y'all, then you know what I mean? Like now you have more connections for the other things y'all want to do, like the passion projects. But I literally see that because it's a point about having a niche. I feel like that's your niche
Yeah.
for real. And if
Mm.
I
Yeah.
give me 10%,
And it's so funny that you said that, because actually, like, when I tell you, like, I've been in my quiet mode where it's just like I'm pitching, I'm pitching, I'm pitching. And, by the grace of God, I was able to connect with two distribution companies where we're helping their emerging artists, right?
mhm,
We're the go one of their go-to platforms for their emerging artists. And that's something I definitely have been kind of just, it's so crazy because see how God aligned that? See, that's
I
crazy.
see it.
How
Like
I,
I have the knowledge, y'all have the platform already, and
yeah.
it's like once they're ready, then you could also use the you have access to these artists, because a part of that contract could be y'all paying me to develop your artists, but also I can be able to use them for free. I develop them, so if when they pop, I'm able to get first dibs on that interview.
Mm-hmm.
Not TMZ, not the Shade Room,
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
no platform. I
Yeah.
develop, and they could be two different companies, so they don't know it's the same company, and there won't be no weird stuff in the media
Right.
like, oh, the company that
Right.
first.
Yeah.
That could like have like a loan out, a different name that y'all utilizing to do your interviews. So Genius would be the interviews, and then you have another company
That
that
that's
Genius under
the.
that doing the artist development. And
Yep.
Mm.
the aspect where they're gonna be like, how do they have access to all these artists? Maybe because we're developing them. You don't need to know that, but we
Mm.
are.
Right. Right.
Like I
Yep.
see it, I
I
envision
Yep.
it.
love it.
I
No,
love
that's
it.
dope.
That's
That's a dope
so
movie.
Yeah.
wavy. Like
That's so way stupid.
because
Yes.
that's
Yes. And
missing in the
No,
industry, artist
yeah.
development. They don't have that
yeah.
much. A lot of them, like you said, don't have longevity because they're not getting the boot
Right.
camps of this is what you need to
Right.
sustain. It's just like
Right.
you have that one head, we're gonna get you in, and then they leave them in there to dry because
Yeah.
they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're getting used by everybody in there.
Because in the perfect example that I think about, oh my gosh, I can see her face. Is it Tanish?
Who?
Is it? Am I saying her name? The
Tinashe?
artist. I've been a
I don't know.
nasty girl,
Tinashe.
I
nasty
was
Tinashe.
right.
Tinashe. Okay. And I think about, if you look at her story, because clearly she was signed to a major label, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the songs that she literally was coming out with that are pop now, her as an indie artist, literally by independent artists, and that she was presenting to the labels, and they were telling her like, nah, we don't see it. It's not, that's not happening, or whatever the deal is. And I think about stuff like that, in regards to the artistry and the creativity, because it's just like we can really, really set the tone.
Mhm.
Like seriously, like we can really help you in, you know, in this development. And I think I use her as an example. I'm so sorry I got her name messed up, but I'm horrible with names. Um and I just think about it because a lot of times a lot of artists think like they need a major label to pour into them. Now, yes, a major label will help you with certain things if you're that person. Because remember the days when Sierras and Chris Browns and all that, you know, was coming along, and it was just like, yeah, we're gonna pour into you. Like, okay.
Mhm.
But that's not the
I
case.
think you just need a label for their money to invest in the
Because
thing,
all
so
it is
that
just a loan. You loan
because
from a
Yeah,
bank.
that's it. That's it.
But I mean,
what I
maybe
It's
feel is
just a
the people who
loan.
come from money who want to do music, they're not labels are looking for them. They like, I don't need it. They just need someone to get their music out there. They just need a distribution.
Right.
But
Right.
like if once
Right.
because y'all doing it already, but I feel like when y'all get to that level where it's like, damn, a lot of these artists keep saying Genius did this for them. We need to talk to Genius to see if they could develop some artists that we want that may not be where we want them to be at. Like I literally can see that for y'all
Yeah.
because that's something that's missing. Because
Yeah.
you talk about successful businesses solve a problem. What's the problem in the music industry? These artists are not developed. We talk about it
They're
all the
not
time.
developed.
That's where y'all come in, and it's been about two black women.
Right.
Like that's
hello.
it's perfect.
That's it. It's perfect. I cringe. Danielle knows sometimes I cringe. I be like, "Ooh, why are they talking? What? Who told?"
There's sometimes, sorry to cut you off. There's times where we've had interviews, and I don't know if maybe you've experienced this when you do your lives too, but we've had like one of my biggest pet peeves is like somebody like when we interview and the space is just not like they're interviewing in a car or they're like on the go. I think that is like my biggest pet
It
peeve
is.
because I think that is so disrespectful because it's like if you were like interviewing with Oprah, would you
In
be
your
on live
car.
in your
Or
car in traffic?
they don't show up. I've had people who just didn't show up to the
Oh my
live,
gosh, the no call, no shows, they like piss
and I
me off like to this
already done
day.
made the promo, and it's like
Yes.
I can't make it today because X, Y, and Z. And in my head, I'm like, I know you're only doing this because I'm a small platform. If I was
Yeah.
anybody else, you would have made
BT,
Mm-hmm. They
Gene, like
would have
the
made
other
it.
dude
it.
is,
They would have made it
Ever
work.
again. I'm. If you treat me like this now, don't wait till I have the numbers to want to try to spin the block.
Mhm.
I'm good.
Mhm.
You show me who you was the first time. I'm fine. Wish you the best though.
we got a
Yeah, I
list.
think
We
I
got a
think that,
list.
and that's another thing. Like people gotta take in, like artists got, or well, people just gotta take in consideration. If
Yeah.
you're like doing an interview, you want to make sure, like, okay, like you, like how we are, like you're sitting, you have your background, whatever. You're not in a, because I think that's just like I'm like I've done interviews. I'm just like, are you really like going through a drive-through right now? Like, are you driving?
Especially
And
with
we're
a
talking.
scheduled interview. You knew you had this.
And we book out. So to be honest with you, so how we do our bookings is that I still think as if like I'm in college. So like fall semester, spring semester, we're literally our fall
Mhm.
for indie talks was already booked during last season going through the summer. So we give you more than enough
Time, yeah,
communication. We send an
yes, yes,
invite,
yes.
everything. So now that we're in the fall semester, we're now booking for our spring.
Exactly.
So it's like you have more than enough communication, and I think it's just sometimes like it kills me when I'm seeing people just be like, oh, what so for instance, we got a couple of really amazing guests and some surprise guests that you're gonna really love, and I'm still emailing them and like, confirm the calendar invite please, because I need to make sure that it's on your calendar. Like, and I have to, like, there was one PR I just literally reached out to him, like to the point where I had to DM her. I'm like, listen, this is the last time that I'm following up. Like, you don't understand, like, because I guarantee y'all, if the executive from BET or somewhere else that's major and everything told you and came to
Mhm.
you and it's just like, this is what we
Mhm.
got going on. Oh, it's in your Palm Pilot, it's on your Blackberry, it's
You
on
have
You
whatever
already
you got
spoken
going
so
on.
many different
You wouldn't
alarms.
have to think, girl, it's on every single thing. It's probably on your door
Exactly.
when you walk home, and in regards to it. So it's just like, I think that sometimes, like you said, these smaller, when we're, because we're considered one more of a smaller platform, and I think that a lot of times people got to stop taking the small platforms for granted. And I've also ran and talked to paid PRs that manage major artists who said they prefer to have smaller platforms because
I
of
trust micro influencers because the community we have, if you don't have all those people who follow you, there's not the people who really care about what you say, because we have a
Mhm.
small community. They value us differently.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They like care what we have to say. It's more powerful than the person who has 10K followers, and probably out of those 10K, they have 5 people that's in their community.
Yeah. And we're taking the time to put in the work with it. It's not no fly by the seat. Oh, I'm just gonna make up something or whatever off the whim. We're really digging in and looking,
Mhm. Doing our due
and
diligence and
understanding.
research.
And I gotta make this clear before I know you go to the next thing, because I've heard a lot of journalists and I've heard a lot of people say, um, when they're doing interviews, right? You gotta ask what the people want and what the people need. I think it depends on the platform. And I think that sometimes I think some people get that so
Exactly.
confused,
Mhm.
because I've talked to other media girls. And I'm like, y'all don't understand. If you're just an entertainment journalist and you're depending on the platform in which you have and things like that, you need to respect people's request. If they
Mm-hmm.
say don't talk about my drug addicted mother or whoever, don't talk about their mother.
Yeah, yeah.
If
They
you're in
see
the
it,
news,
pivot to something else that's just as.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And I think that sometimes I think that's why a lot of people are scared to utilize certain platforms or smaller platforms as well, because of the fact that, well, if the bigger they see us somewhat idolizing and wanting to, we're learning from those who are on these bigger platforms. Oh, so are they going to really pivot the way they pivot? Are they going to really, are you going to be another Wendy Williams
Mhm.
and things? And I mean, respect to Wendy Williams. I mean, she did
Yeah.
her thing
But that's
when it comes to radio and all that, and when it comes to media. But I'm like, I think we're such in a different time span where it's just like you look at the platform you're with, depending
Mhm.
on what platform you on. Then if you want to go get the hard head hitting news, that's cool.
What's my
Get
slogan?
that information.
What's my slogan I always say? We give you the tea
that's
minus the shade. We give you the tea minus the shade, because I don't ever want to be like associated with being, not like knocking any other like platform down, but
Oh yeah, not knocking
I don't
them.
want to be associated with being like a messy platform. Like that's
Right.
my thing. Because there's like, people are, they're timid by that. Like, why would I want to interview with you or do any type of business with you and you were just like talking shit about this person and like
exactly.
why?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Spam don't stop because I know we over. But
Yeah.
one thing that you mentioned way in the beginning, and you said you got this from your father being like service minded. I think that's something that we all have in common
Yeah.
talking about this topic, is because we can easily go that route of talking about the mess. And we may banter about it, but that's not the goal of what we're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I love the fact that we're service minded. We also want to be educational, and we just
Right.
want to. That's really what our platforms is generally
Right.
about. Like that's what
Mhm.
my platform is about. Someone watching this, and if you're an artist saying, "Oh, I want to reach out to them. I like what they were talking about. I want to reach out to them for artist development. Or I want to come on their platform." Or if you're someone who wants to start something similar, hearing you guys speak about it and being passionate about it, like that's the only thing that my show is about. When people say I want to come on and talk and shoot and talk shit and shoot the shits, I'd be like, that's not the platform for me
Yeah.
to shoot
Oh my
on.
gosh. I get
No
that all the time.
podcast you could do that on, but I don't do that here. It
Right.
might be
Yeah.
boring to you, but guess what? It's enlightening for me. Like
Right.
it makes me feel good that I'm doing this. Like I don't do it for, and we do this shit. We put money into this.
Yeah.
You're not paying you.
It's time and
You got
effort. Yeah.
you pay for yourself.
Girl.
Like,
But I thank you for allowing us this space to be able to kind of talk about our platform, for us to be able to work together as a community and be able to, talk about these things that we're passionate about and what we're looking to do to improve, this industry that we're in. Because it get a lot of it get a lot of hits and punches and the things that come with it, but I want to be able to create something that women like ourselves can really come in and just feel comfortable. Those who are scared, that just feel like, well, I don't know, I don't try this, I don't try that, and it's just like I'm right here just saying, like, really come, like I'm telling you. And sometimes it just takes more than just trying to give them the list to New York Fashion Week or anything like that. Sometimes it takes, like, let me pray with you, it looks like you're a little overwhelmed, like let me
mm-hmm.
just let me just,
Be a
reach
human
out to
being.
maybe just be human for a second with you, because maybe that's just what you need, because that's what sometimes people just
Exactly.
need. And so, and this is my passion, this is my love, this is my baby. I'm gonna do what I gotta, this is all I know. I got told all the time, maybe you should do this, maybe you should be a doctor, maybe you should be a lawyer. I'm like, that's
Child,
not for
don't
me.
tell me what I need to be. I know what I want to be.
Hmm.
I hate that. I hate when people project on me.
And I get that a lot, because it's just like my fight. But my son, he sees me. I'm sitting down and I show him what I do. Emails and setting the interviews, and he get interested. He's like, well, you set the camera up like this. He's like, I want to help do that, and all that stuff. So I show him what I do, and so he understands that, I'm not taking away my time from him, because, I'm very much want him to know that, mommy is doing this for a
Hmm.
reason. Danielle, when she, has, her future kids or whatever, her godchildren, whatever, she's showing them, like, I'm working, whatever it is that she's working on, it's for a purpose. So
Exactly. I'm
Yeah, and I just
gonna cut this off. It's crazy because I had so many other questions, but this was conversational as it
yes,
should be. It was very
yeah.
natural.
yes, thank
The
you.
last thing, and this is a separate question for both of y'all
Oh,
because you both have different insights and bring something different for the company.
Mhm.
Describe genius in 3 words. I don't know who want to go first. You have to box that out.
Oop.
I'll let Aisha
Oh.
go first.
3 words. Oh man. Pivotal. Um
Ooh,
uh um
damn, that was mine.
Uplifting.
um
I got one word. Uplifting.
um oh my gosh. um Vibrant.
Real.
Just, I don't, God, I mean, God fearing, because everything we do within this business, God is first.
Hmm.
Every way we move, whether if we're trying to do a business deal or whatever the deal is, put together an event, everything I pray about first. So, God is here. He's present with everything that I do, in this. Um, and just like Danielle said, uplifting. I know that's hers. Loving. We hustling. I don't know. I don't know. It's
So
just,
many
Oh,
it's crazy.
words.
well,
Yeah,
for
so
So
many
many
words.
words.
Yeah, so many.
I just want to say for the record, I can't even answer that about myself. So I just love just asking y'all. I sleep at night like,
It's like, I don't
what
even
that's
know.
but oh my god, I'm sad because I had so many more questions, but I'm scared Instagram's gonna cut it off and my phone's do not disturb cut off, and I hope nobody call me and mess this
No.
up. But I'm definitely gonna bring you guys back on because I know there's more we
Yes,
need to
discuss and talk. Yes,
we
yes.
even get to the red carpet tea and the
Yeah.
nuance. But I appreciate you ladies so much. Like I said before, you guys have been played such amazing. I'm gonna say this. If I'm on freaking Tamara Hall, I'm gonna always say this. Like you two have been very instrumental to me and who I am today, and just really pouring into me, seeing the star power in me when nobody wanted to book me for nothing, nobody wanted me to come on a panel. Y'all was there because y'all saw something in me,
Yes.
and I will forever for
Yeah,
that.
you were
So
amazing.
I go, y'all coming with me. I
Yes.
don't care. I'm
Yes.
always now
Same
I know
here.
it's not Aasha. Now I gotta say it right now.
Aisha. Aisha.
Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate y'all coming on
All right.
tonight.
Gian, thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much for
much,
having us
Gian.
on. We
Yes,
really
thank you.
appreciate it.
Really
Like, and
appreciate it.
it was nothing. Like, even like you just have like it was really nothing for us to be honest. Like, we would have did it. It was clearly was no hesitation, but we would have done it even after we just came from an interview. We was doing it. So
I appreciate y'all. And the skins, everybody's skins are skinning.
yes, girl.
I look like a
Ooh.
chicken, but it don't matter.
I'm about to go wash my hair now.
but thank y'all so much. I look forward to connecting. I'm gonna pull up on y'all somewhere. I don't know where, but we're gonna pull up somewhere.
October
Yes.
17th. Check us out.
I
Check
was
us
just
out.
gonna say
Yes,
some things
I
real
said
quick.
my
Yes.
calendar. I did.
Yes.
I did. I
I,
saw it.
so
Wait,
we
talk
have
about it before Instagram do something
Oh,
weird.
so
October 17th, we got our men's panel. So last year we had an amazing panel, women's panel, which you were featured on. This year we are talking to our men. All right.
tune
So
in
we
and
got
take
some
care.
tune in and take care. So we got the men coming through, we got some A&Rs, we got some producers, we got some boss men
Artists.
that's coming, just kind of talk about their balancing working in these industries and also taking care of family, taking care of
Your
friends, and taking care of
mental health.
themselves.
Yes, exactly.
So, and I thought it's an important conversation that is needed, because I feel like regardless of the fact this is a male dominated industry, they still have feelings, they still have things that's going on. We got to support our men as though sometimes we feel like the lack of support has been for us, but we want to be able to give them a space and opportunity to kind of talk about those things. I don't want some people, someone tell me something that sound like it's going to be an emotional support group.
No,
Like, no, it's not an
it's
emotional
not.
support
It's
group.
not.
Yes, it is.
But it's like,
Spread the love.
Hold
but you know
on.
what? It's something that I feel like I want even men, it's not even just men, but like everybody to relate to. Because,
Yeah.
like being creative in this industry, it's not something that's easy. And
Oh,
it's something that's mentally
yeah,
tolling. Like,
very.
and it's good to like, network and just sit and talk with people or just listen to people who can relate to what you can relate to, regardless if you're a
Exactly.
man or woman or them, they, you know, non-binary.
Yeah. and
Yeah.
and we got a special performance by Sean Diesel. He's an emerging artist. He has amazing music. He's a singer songwriter. So we definitely wanted to incorporate that. And then we're gonna be got the DJ. Miss Sparks coming out. She's gonna be doing on the ones and twos and all that stuff. So yeah, please come out. It's a free event.
Mm-hmm.
Come. Urban Vegan Roots is an amazing. They're gonna have a bar. Y'all come out here, come get your drinks, things
Yes.
like
And
that.
Astoria
Um,
and Queens.
Astoria, Queens. Please come out, have a good time. Check the link in our bio, all that stuff. Get your tickets through Eventbrite. So just come and just hear what they got to say.
Yes. And one thing I just want to shout out real quick. I want to shout out to Aasha because, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be on here. I wouldn't be on this platform. I wouldn't be as vibrant. I wouldn't be as,
Aw.
being able to network and just like, just take in and just learn everything that I can from her. So, and just her just believing in me. So I just want to say shout out to her for all that she does, and she does a lot. So.
I love this. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody in the comments. I don't want to think they be annoyed. Shout out to Couples to Karaoke. I don't know. Is that Brittany behind the brand?
It is.
Yeah,
It's
shout out to
Brittany. Because of
Brittany. Shout out
Brittany.
to
Shout out to
Brittany. Yes,
Brittany. Shout out to
day
Whitney
one,
Thank you
day
to
too.
Will and
one.
Niza
Yeah.
who came through. Appreciate it. But thank you everyone for tuning in. And make sure y'all go follow them at Genius. How you would spell Genius or us, right?
Yeah, G
Okay.
E
GE.
N E
No.
U S R U
Yeah.
S.
I ain't gonna lie, when I be trying to tag, I'm like, Genius, I ain't know Genius.
Well, they be like generous. What is
Generous,
it?
generous,
Yes. Yes.
I was like,
generous.
So it's like Jean. Yes. Like the name Jean.
Like
Yes.
Gene, like
Yes.
Gene,
Yes.
yes, Gene, yes,
Genius
us.
R us. Yes.
but thank you ladies so much. And I'll see y'all October 17th.
Yes,
Yes,
girl.
thank
Yes.
you,
Thank
thank you so much,
you.
and have a good night.
Bye,
Bye.
Bye.
everybody.